Accessing.
The best radio in Utah is right here. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaCombe, on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You'd be surprised to know this is actually a radio station. Kurt Helin joining us and getting barked at by Lloyd about, like, move that chair up, move it to the left.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all on the video stream. Go to youtube.com, search KSL Sports, and you can see us all in our handsome glory.
I was about to ask where the hidden cameras were, but now I see.
Love the T-shirt, dog.
Oh, the Vancouver Grizzlies
Yeah,
T-shirt?
that's a good mark.
It's a good. I actually got this in Vancouver, and I got suckered in by we're walking past one of those painfully horrid tourist shops that are in every city, and I'm like, ooh, but a Vancouver Grizzlies shirt in Vancouver, I kind of have to.
Big country approves, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the name that comes to mind for me, too.
Exactly.
When I see that.
Oh, yeah, you see that? That's the one guy.
Or Abdul Rahim.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had him, too. They weren't a bad team for a while there.
I wonder where, have we even heard of where he's at these days, big country?
Ooh, I don't know.
I would say north of 350.
Well, yeah. I bet he's closer to 4 than 3. Yeah.
Comfortably living on his ranch somewhere.
You know, we had Greg Ostertag on the other day, and he was on the old video stream. He's got he's the mayor of a city down in Texas.
Really?
Yes, and he's got a restaurant down there. And I would if somebody would have said Greg Ostertag is 4 bills, I would have been like, I totally believe it. Dude is svelte and happy, and he's got what kind of was it? Alpacas? What has he got on his farm?
Emus.
Emus. Interesting.
And he's just living the good life.
Guys tend to go one of two ways when they retire, right? Like they either like the activity stops and they don't stop eating, or that taking care of their body thing wasn't just a basketball thing.
So we had him, and then Brian Russell.
Oh, yeah.
And B. Russ is about 4 bills.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Long Beach State's own, I believe.
Yes. Good pull. Nice.
Well, I think I've told you guys a million times. You could hit a golf shot from my place to the pyramid where Long Beach State plays. Well, I couldn't. It would slice off into the parking lot and, like, shatter our window of somebody's windshield. But, like, you could get there. Like, I go to games there just to, like, it's the one place I can go and have a beer and watch a game and not have to be writing about it, not be a fan, just be a fan again.
Did you ever get to talk to Coach Monson?
Oh, yeah. He and I texted. Yeah,
that's one of the good dudes now.
He's a great dude. He endeared himself. I can't tell that story on air. He endeared himself to me the first time we met.
Hey, same here, man. I'll never forget him. I'll
never
forget him. He's the best. I love that guy. Obviously, if you don't know, started the whole upswell at Gonzaga.
Yeah, and then went to Minnesota at a poorly timed move for him. Like, it wasn't that he couldn't handle the job. It's right when they went on sanctions, and so nobody was going to win there. And
I don't feel bad. He got a bag. He got a bag.
He got a bag, and then he stayed in Long Beach longer. He had other offers, but his kids were of an age where he was like, man, I like the neighborhood. I like it here. I like, if I move now, I'm moving that whole family and my kids at an age I'd rather not do that to them too. And so he stayed there probably longer than he otherwise would have, just for family.
And it's Long Beach State. I mean, you can.
There are worse places to be.
Yeah, not a lot of crazy expectations. Just don't be horrible and win a few games and you'll be just fine.
Hey, Bryant Reeves is he's a rancher. And
Shocker.
He looks great. He's actually not. He's more Ostertag than.
Oh, good.
He's more
good for him.
So he's looks like he's kicking tail.
That's good. Good to hear. All right, so I was telling Coach this earlier. I've got a strict summer league, especially a rookie in a summer league policy where I don't get too high, don't get too low. Like I saw, speaking of Greg Ostertag, I saw him just completely dominate Tim Duncan in an old Jazz summer league game. I saw Darren Williams look pedestrian. We've seen guys really struggle, especially as a rookie in summer league. That being said, I'm having a hard time sticking my guns on that with Darryn Peterson because he looked phenomenal.
He showed that athleticism. I didn't get to watch the whole game, but parts I saw, it was a little bit of rookie. Like, there were a few turnovers. The game moves faster, and it's also it's not structured.
Yes,
it's a glorified.
They don't know
game.
Each other, man.
They don't know each other. It's funny, Jazz fans. If like. You're going to get to Vegas, and that first game is going to be on national TV against Dybansta not Memphis, Washington. You should smoke them because, like, you've played 3 games, and like that's those 3 games are such a learning curve for a young team that it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. But I thought he looked good. I thought he looked aggressive. I thought he showed like what we'd expect from him. He can get downhill, but he makes good decisions, and he knows kind of like he can score from any level. So.
To me, it was kind of just like the very first play of the game. You saw the highlight of that, I'm sure. Just kind of the way that he approached that whole possession. Ace Bailey's coming to set him. He kind of waves him through, calls the big up, has him set it right at that perfect angle, knows if that guy doesn't step out, he's got the rim. Just so it's not necessarily just that he did it, because a lot of guys can go score. It's how he did it, and did a lot of those things throughout the game.
Recognizing the mismatch,
right? Big time.
Immediately. Oh, I can get by this guy.
Correct.
Which even at the NBA level, he's going to be able to get by a lot of guys. But recognizing that, like you said, and calling it up and saying that's the play I want is a really mature play, and that's a really good sign. Like you said, there was really a lot of positives when he came out of that. Just his mentality of it.
So what are the other element to this as well is when it comes to second-year players playing, I expect a very high level. And Ace Bailey, I thought had some really good moments.
Look, I have few rules about Summer League. A few of them off the court in Vegas and a few of them on. But one of the on-court ones is if you got regular run, if you got steady run as a rookie and you don't come out and look much better than everybody you're playing, I am now concerned because you should be a notch above this. You should be the guy who plays 3 games and is done, kind of thing.
Go home. We don't need you anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Play 1 game in Vegas. And Ace looked like that. He looked like a guy who looked comfortable and he'd been there before. And obviously was trying to, like Coach said, there's a lot of feeling out going on, but I thought he looked good. And I'll be there tonight. And I think they'll look smoother tonight. What's
your take on just generally on where Cody Williams is? And obviously his first couple of years struggled, was rated, I think in year 1, was rated the lowest, had the lowest ranking of any player in the league. And, I have the opportunity to watch these dudes play 82 games a year, whether I want to or not. I sit and watch them. And, I've just steadily watched this kid get better. But my take on him was as soon as his body gets to a grown-up size and he can actually start dishing out some blows himself, it's not until then we can really judge this kid. And the other night, he was, as you say, he was a polished kid compared to the rest of the guys out there by virtue of his experiment in the last couple of years. What's your take on him?
I think he's coming into a critical year where you need to see a step forward from him. And I think you're right about needing to grow into his body. And I know about the analytics the first year. Jaylen Brown would like to have a word with you about the analytics.
Yeah, exactly.
But
7th best player.
Philly just all of a sudden becomes.
Oh, Philly's going to be
like good,
really good.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Like, I don't know that they're going to get LeBron. I still think it's looking like Cleveland, but
they'll be less good if they get him.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he just. Yeah, it's a whole nother. That's a segment.
The challenge with LeBron, and Cleveland can handle it, and Franklin may need it because we kind of seen what their ceiling is. LeBron comes with a lot, like in terms of the personality, but also in terms of it's going to be a documentary, and he's going to have a crew following him around, and there's certain accommodations you need to make for him and his workout schedule and all. Like, there's a lot that comes with LeBron, and you've got to be ready to handle it. And I'm not sure Philly needs that. I'm not sure Philly needs all that. Not that Embiid's not getting a few accommodations, but like you do.
It's really serving him well.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other part of the risk with them. Ultimately, is like second round. Can Embiid's knees hold up when it becomes an every other day? You've got to play. We'll see. I like them on paper, but their ceiling, they have to have him.
But you're thinking ultimately Cleveland, not the Golden State reunion geriatric Space Cowboy tour?
No. As much as I would find that entertaining and it checks the close to home box, and frankly, they might be able to offer him a little bit more. You're always reading the tea leaves with LeBron, but the tea leaves lately, including some of his social media stuff, suggests that Cleveland seems to be where things are headed. We'll see. I expect that he will wait until the Las Vegas Summer League and all the media are combined somewhere and then drop this because that sounds like what LeBron does. But I think it's going to be Cleveland. If I had to bet today, it would be Cleveland. But Golden State's in the mix. I still think Denver is a sleepy candidate, but they can't do anything until they get Peyton Watson figured out financially.
I think it's going to be Cleveland too because he can go be the guy
Yeah.
in all the ways.
And they kind of need that. Like you
Right,
saw
they
where
do.
they got to.
Right. I mean,
And
Donovan's great, and he's great in the regular season, but in the playoffs, he needs to. He got through a demon this year. You know, he's able to win, but they just need a little extra help, and I think LeBron could actually help that team.
Yeah, and you have to have somebody there because every playoff series you're going to get one or two really great James Harden games, and you're going to get one or two real stinker James Harden games, and you, especially when you get to 6 and 7. LeBron, I'm not worried about stepping up in the moment. Like that is of my concerns about LeBron at this point in his career. It's not can he step up in a big moment. He will play his best basketball then.
Yeah, I just our guy Sammy might lose a few shots there.
Oh man, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Although they're still going to need that floor spacing. He should still get some looks.
And he's tough.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of former Aggies, Neemiah Queta getting a bit of a bag. Were you surprised by that contract?
I thought he earned it. I thought he proved last year to be a solid NBA center. Like he started for them. You could say starter or sixth man, but he is at a position of need around the league. He is rock solid. He was good for them last year, and people who didn't see him until the playoffs and around the nation, well, what? No, he was good. And then you get to the second round of the playoffs, and levels come up. Things get different. Matchups are different. He's a perfect fit for them too because now they've got Mitchell Robinson at center. Mitchell's great for the 20 minutes a game in the 60 games he can give you. He's fantastic in that role, and he'll be great in the playoffs. But you got to have somebody else who can eat up the minutes, and Neemiah can do that.
So is the shine off of Brad Stevens a little bit? He's taking a beating.
I'm curious. It's funny. We talked about NBC. We were talking before I came here. We were in a meeting about things we would like to do at Summer League, interviews we'd like to get. And we're like, what if we could get Brad Stevens? I'm like, I would like to ask him if he thought he was microdosing, but accidentally took too many. Because
I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how you get there. As much as you might need to trade him, that deal at that time,
to that team, but also to that team. But I know other people, and other people have reported this, but I talked to a couple people around the league. We're like, if there had been a bidding war, if this was what was going on, we could have jumped in. We didn't think they were really going to. Everybody was lowballing them at first because that's how every negotiation goes.
Yeah.
It was mind-boggling that they made that trade at that point, and I'm curious. Brad Stevens has a lot to answer for. They have made a lot of financial decisions since the ownership change.
Oh, okay.
And I think I'm just throwing that out there. A part of that was kind of logical last season with Tatum out for most of the season, but it's been interesting.
They're taking the Tom Dundon approach.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, Tom's willing to spend on players, just nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing else. Which, again, we've talked about this, all the three of us on here. It's if you're not a glamour market, if you're not Miami, you have to do a little extra sometimes to keep guys. You do, and I think Ryan Smith does that with Utah. Paul Allen did that in Portland, and if it's that's the shocking change of it. It was you get all the perks. Oh, you get none of the perks. Well, now if I'm choosing in a neutral world, if the money's the same or close, then why am I going?
Yeah. If I can't get a massage after 11 o'clock because they had to shut down the room.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if and when this comes back to bite him because I think that's an interesting team. By the way, I like the swing with Ja for them with Ja Morant. It might not work out. He's coach. You might. What do you think? Everybody I talk to and just my impression of him is he's lost half a step. He's not quite as explosive.
I think so. I think, and honestly, I think confidence too.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that was a big part. If you think about Ja and how he made his way in, it was that high flying, always putting himself out there. What's he going to do next? And that's inhibited a little bit now.
Yeah.
So.
And there's an adjustment period. Derrick Rose went through this. A lot of guys. If athleticism is how you got there, how much craft do you have when some of that athleticism wanes, and like how much craft do you have to work your game. And I think we're going to find out. But being next to Damian Lillard and, at least for now, Drew Holiday, those are good veterans to have guide you through this, and hopefully, I would like to see Ja do well. I would like to see him kind of find his footing again, because, I mean, for a couple of years, guys, you had to stop on League Pass.
No, he was
You
great.
had to,
Oh,
you
yeah,
had to,
yeah.
you had to stop.
Yeah.
and
Well,
watch.
he had his coming out in that playoff series against the Jazz.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
that's
where
right,
it really all kind of, and we're all saying, man, the star is born.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, there's life too.
yeah.
Yeah. So the Walker Kessler thing, I think, caught a lot of us by surprise. We didn't see that, especially to the Lakers. I mean, we knew that there was some ties to the Lakers, and the Lakers might come in restricted free agency and make the Jazz life a little miserable. But the Jazz just saying, you know what, fine, you want to go there? Let's just make it happen. The Jazz got some good assets back, but now they're without a center. And I think that a lot of people are like, okay, it's not necessarily that you lost Walker Kessler, but you lost a piece of bringing this team together that everybody's fired up about here in Salt Lake City. How do the Jazz navigate that? They do have some assets to play with. There's nothing really left in free agency.
Yeah.
How do they improve that position?
Yeah, it's probably going to have to be by trade in the short term, if anything, and we have to see who's available out there. But it's become, especially in the West, but frankly, remember a couple of years ago when everybody was going small, and everybody wanted to be the Warriors, which works great when you have Draymond.
Yeah.
But frankly, at his peak, but for the rest of us, that's not how life works. But now that you've got real size coming into the league look, if you're in the West, and this is something that Utah's ultimately going to have to deal with, you're going to have to deal with Jokic, you're going to have to deal with Wembanyama, you're going to have to deal with Chet Holmgren. Now, unfortunately, you've got to deal with Walker Kessler on another team, and a guy who's made lesser centers look really good. You're going to have to find somebody big-bodied out there, and that's like you see Mara getting drafted. Like, do they need another center? Yes, they can use another center. Like they can use all the bodies they can get because they know what the target is in Oklahoma City.
Do you feel like? My feeling is you don't have to be in a hurry either. I mean,
No.
The stopgap is obviously between Nurkic and Hayes at this point.
Yeah.
But also you have the luxury. You don't really want to do it because Jaren Jackson isn't a center. But you those guys are big enough that you could, with Lowry and you could move, play some other ways. But over time, you kind of just need to wait for another Jaren Jackson situation to evolve where a team's got to move a guy, right? And then you sweep in with your bag of picks and everything else.
Exactly. You've got so much. I believe the trendy word is optionality. You've got all these. You've got the ability to go get that guy when that guy you like pops up, and it's maybe it's a but a Keita kind of guy where you can like, hey, that's the kind of rock solid big guy we need to go get. And there are teams that are not, in 2 years, Oklahoma City's not going to be able to keep Hartenstein. Like they're coming up, the apron's coming hard for them, and that's a guy who's, there's other guys like that, but like that's a guy who's going to be out there if you want to be patient. In a year or two, that's why they drafted Mara. They know what's ahead, and they're going for it in the short term, but like long term, they know they're going to have to move on.
The other element too, I mean, I'm still not quite sure that Walker's worth that.
He's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
It was 57 games the year before, something like that. And obviously last year was hopefully a one-off year for him with the shoulder. But he's going to have to prove that he can, because when he's played, even in the 5 games last year, you're like, wow, he looks really good.
Yeah.
He looks really good. I like this. And then, if he can get back to that level and stay there and stay healthy, I hope for his sake you can, but it's a risk. And there's always a school of thought around the league when these kind of trades happen where you're like, yeah, why are they selling low? Why?
Yeah.
Why? Or not even selling low in this case, but why? Because I don't think they sold low. But like, why are you getting out of the business? Is it the price was just too high, or do you have a legitimate concern?
Well, and I think that Wemby's left a lot of shocks around the NBA. Like, how do we deal with this? And one is, okay, you get a guy like Kessler, but then I think maybe the Jazz are looking at it like, going Moneyball. We go after him in the aggregate and just get a collection of bodies that we throw at him, not necessarily one major. That's
an option. You trying to find an Isaiah Stewart type of he's a little smaller, but really tough physical guy who can. Okay, he's only 6'9". I love it when I get to say that. He's only 6'9", but like can body up somebody like that and at least annoy him. Because right now that's still kind of like young Rudy Gobert when he was in Utah those first couple of years. You can still get him down low. You can still push him because his center of gravity is naturally a little higher. That may not be the case in a couple of years, but right now you can kind of still get him that way.
Spend enough time eating those churros in San Antonio, and then watch out. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah, well, that's why we spend the summer with the Shaolin monks.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, during the break, I'm going to work on some of the Wemby drills to knock you off balance. Is that okay?
Go for it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Nice.
I'll show you how it's done.
That's Kurt Helin.
Probably better than I. Yeah.
Kurt Helin joining us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, NBC Sports, ProBasketballTalk.com, with us in studio right here on the Zone.
Now I know y'all are tripping.
Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Gerard, the coach, Tim Lacombe, Kurt Helin, NBC Sports, ProBasketballTalk.com, kind enough to hang out with us as well. All right, so you're going to be up at Huntsman Center, checking out, and then making your way down to Vegas, I'm assuming.
Yes, I will be in Vegas till the middle of next week, and then.
Oh, okay, not too bad then.
No, it's still about 9 days of summer league basketball, which is by the end of that,
That's too much.
Too much, and I mean, where I stay in Vegas, a little off the strip, usually is trying to avoid the Vegasness of it.
Yeah,
but it's still, I'm kind of done by the end of it. I'm ready to go
JW
home.
Marriott, you hanging out there?
No, actually a Hilton property.
Nice. Okay.
But it's without getting it. It's one of their resort timeshare things. So I've got a kitchen and
sweet. That's great.
So you don't have the you're not walking down to the old grandma's chain smoking in their
no
jazzy.
no casino in the lobby, which is like a key for me. So.
I loved Vegas back in the day. I loved everything about it. Loved walking through the casinos. Loved throwing down a few coins here and there. And now I can't get out of there fast enough. Like getting old.
It's called the wisdom.
Just rips you apart.
I think if I only went once every few years with friends or my wife or whatever, like it would feel different. But now I'm there. Well, it won't be twice a year anymore, at least, because they moved NBA Cup to Butler.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
But it's still at least once a year for a lot of days, and I'm just kind of it's the same thing. I'm like, been there, done that, seen that. If there's a show I really want to see at the Sphere, we'll come back. But.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sphere's cool though.
I need to see it. I haven't seen the Sphere yet.
It's even from the outside. It's quite the experience. And I didn't see U2 when they were there, and I'm not a big enough Deadhead for those shows. But Dead and Company, I believe it was, but or Fish, but
oh boy, I
who
bet
would
the contact high you would. You get it there at a Fish concert.
You don't, with all that going on, you should just not do the hallucinogenics.
No.
Stay away and just
Danger.
It's
Will
a little
Robinson.
it'll be a little overwhelming.
Yeah. I say hallucinogenics probably steer clear anyhow.
Yeah, again, that's Brad Stevens' questions, but yes. In general, I think that's wise.
So I know there's going to be, obviously, the Jazz have one more game here in Salt Lake City, but there's going to be a lot of attention on that game against the Wizards, that first game in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. No, there's going to be a lot of people there, and they put it on that Thursday night. It's got prime television. It's going to have a bunch of media there. Like I said, we had a whole meeting about doing videos off of that, and then the next night is Boozer and Caleb Wilson. Like, all right, we're breaking the top four down because they were kind of their own group, right? There was a real tier there, and Caleb's going to be interesting in Chicago, but there's a lot of attention on this first game, and there was so much debate about Dybansta or Peterson, kind of back and forth all year, and AJ secured that spot by being a combination of steady and just there every night, and also, it's basketball and he's 5 inches taller. At the end of the day, that doesn't hurt.
Was, again, back to Summer League and one game not meaning anything. Yeah. I saw an article today because people just love to throw stuff out there. And it was like, talk to someone in the Wizards and they're doubting they're second-guessing their pick after seeing Peterson play the other day. I'm like, AJ hasn't even been able to play yet. and we're having there's just too much stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. And some of that, there is stuff I see online from, call them influencers. I don't know what the term would be. Occasionally where I'm like, I just know that's not true. Like I've been around long enough. I've talked to enough people. I know you're just making that whole cloth out of clicks, for clicks. And then you'll 2 days later go back and, I guess that wasn't true. Or that's not, you apologize later, but you got the bump from what you wanted.
Exactly.
So, there's a lot of that. Exactly that. There's nobody inside Washington right now is like, oh, we screwed up. No. In fact, let's be honest, as we were discussing, you're not making that discussion after Summer League. Will you have that discussion at the end of the first year? Or kick yourself a little, potentially, depending on how things broke, maybe. But I think AJ is going to be great in Washington. He's going to be great no matter where he landed. I think they're two really elite, maybe three really elite guys at the top of this draft.
Boozer in Chicago, I think I've told Coach, and I think both of us, if I had to make as good as I think Darryn Peterson will be and AJ will be, if I had to submit a preseason Rookie of the Year, I think it might be Boozer, just because I think he's going to be able to produce the quickest there in Chicago.
With Memphis.
Or sorry, Memphis. That's what I meant. Yeah, my bad.
Chicago,
yeah. Caleb's in Chicago.
Caleb's in Chicago, and that's just interesting because he is so talented, but also
just raw.
There's a lot of know-how that needs to come about.
And it's only concerning because the list of long athletic wings who went to Chicago and failed in the last 15 years is a little too long for my taste, but hopefully they'll get this one right. But I think that's a good bet. If you watch Boozer play, he's just so fundamentally sound. He is just going to be good from day one. Rebounding, he's going to be in the right position. He's going to score around the rim. He's going to be rock solid. Although my dark horse pick, Acuff.
I could see that
in Sacramento, because they are going to give him the rock and the keys. They just waived DeMar DeRozan since we've been sitting here. They are going to turn the house. They're going to give him the house, and he could put up the numbers that get him in the discussion.
He definitely have the opportunity. Now,
and he's entertaining, and he'll be fun. So
that's your dark horse.
That's my dark horse, and I the fans, the long suffering fans in Sacramento, frankly deserve a positive. That's a surprisingly good fan base for what they've had to put up with.
Yeah.
Watching Boozer the other day, I mean, just like you said, I think our assessment was right. I think this was a year where three guys in other years would be taken first.
Yeah.
And, Boozer just went out there and plug and play, did his thing, shot fake guys to death.
Yep.
Up and under, found guys underneath. I mean, he's going to be great. And I think that's what I take from it, as opposed to, man, who's better? I take it I think all three places got great players, and in time, because it's going to take time, even with Darryn Peterson, he could go have a game tonight where he doesn't play very well. It happens to young guys, it just does. I've been around it enough. So you can't get too high or too low, but you certainly see it with him. I see the same thing with Boozer.
Yeah, and I think the fit, putting him next to a real five in Zach Edey lets him play to his strengths more. He can shoot the three, he can step out. He can give you some of the floor spacing you need, and plus go in and get boards and do stuff. So and again, they got Isaiah Stewart off the bench. They've got that's a Coward now, the Cedric Coward at the three,
he's
the young
real.
guy who's
Coward's real.
He's really good. That's suddenly a nice young front line as they start to rebuild that thing.
So Coach and I were talking to a NBA executive the other day, and they told us that the league has taken notice of the ownership change in L.A., and they're like, Lakers are going to be a problem now because the buses have been running it on duct tape and baling twine for a long time and just getting away with the Laker name. Now that they have real ownership in place, now that they actually have some money to play with, they're going to be back. And what you've seen with what they've been able to do here in just the last few weeks, it's a different era now in LA, and it seems like the years of kind of having some fun at their expense might be coming to an end here pretty soon.
Yeah, they were aggressive in a way they just hadn't Like, all right, let's take these risks. Let's do
Yeah.
this. Where LeBron, among his other skills, brings people to the building, brings television ratings, brings jersey sales, and all this stuff, that ancillary stuff that isn't really that ancillary if you're running a business, matters. And as excited as the Laker Nation is right now about what happened, like, you gave up a sure thing. And so I think you're right. I think that but I've heard that as well, that there's concern that more than just that, they had a bare bones scouting department.
Yes.
Compared to everybody else. Their analytics were not the most robust in the league, and it had gotten better over the last couple of years, but it was not where it needed to be. That kind of stuff has already started to change, and they've cleaned house within the organization. Not just the basketball side, the business side. They're bringing in their people who have had. Look, they've got a model. Like, the Dodger thing has worked out pretty well, and it's a different sport with different, minor leagues and all that stuff. But like, there's a model now. They know what they want to do.
If LeBron really wanted to be back in LA, would he be back? Like,
yes.
Okay.
So that was a mutual parting of the ways,
Okay.
and an amicable one. But they left before it got ugly. But they, to my knowledge, talking to people around them, I don't think there was ever a serious discussion of what you're going to pay. Like, here's what we would offer you. Here's what we got. It was kind of like, we would love to have you back. We'll let you know what we would have after we do all this other stuff. We'll see what we can offer you. And he's just didn't want that. He didn't want it. He realizes where this thing is going, and it just felt it had run its course. And so he's going to go. Plus, if you really want to chase one more ring, I'd probably get out of the West next year.
Yeah.
So we've talked about it. You and I have been in agreement. The Jazz, they've made their moves, and we kind of figured Walker Kessler in the mix would be a playoff team above a play-in team. How much does this affect them with Nurkic and Hayes at this point as the five men to that end?
So I sat down over the weekend where I thought there was a little bit of a slow NBA news, and I sat down and started putting teams in both conferences in tiers, like where it is. And the problem with the West is suddenly like, all right, if you're going to assume 1 and 2 are Oklahoma City and San Antonio, like, you're going to have to prove you can play with them. That's second tier. Lakers, Houston, Minnesota, Denver. Like, I'm at 6. I'm at 6 teams that I know are going to be good. And so I have Utah in the tier with, they might have to play their way out of the play-in. Now, maybe Houston doesn't come together this season. Maybe, injury here or whatever. Minnesota's different. Maybe it doesn't work as well. And we'll see what they ultimately look like. I don't think they're done. But whatever everything looks like, I think they may have to fight their way out of the play-in, but I think that's less about the Jazz going in the right direction and more about the West being brutal. It's also, by the way, everybody in the West's win totals will drop a little, just from the top. Like, I don't know that you're going to see a 64, 62 win team this year as good as Oklahoma City and San Antonio are, because there's not going to be a cupcake quite the same at the bottom. Like, there's not that many teams tanking. Portland's not going to be a pushover. Memphis isn't going to be a pushover. Like, these are pretty good teams that can give you a chance. Even the Jazz last year, like, you're going to have to win some games you didn't have to win last year. So it's going to bunch up a little, and so there's room for them to move up. But right now, I'd have them 7th or 8th probably.
Can we steal you for one more segment?
Yeah. I mean, yes. I'm like, what else have I got to do? I'm like, actually, I saw a text, but I'm not going to ignore them from my boss. And I would rather spend time with Scotty.
I appreciate it. Let's go. One more segment. Kurt Helin, NBC Sports, ProBasketballTalk.com, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Just top.
Utes, Cougars, and Aggies. When it comes to sports in Utah, we've got you covered. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaCoe, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Gerard, the coach, Tim Lacombe. Kurt Helin, who's in for the Salt Lake City Summer League, kind enough to hang out with us here in studio. But it is also World Cup day for Team USA. You feeling pretty good about us versus the Waffles?
Those are good waffles, man.
Yeah.
Actually, I am. I think it's going to be really even. Like I'm a pretty big soccer fan. I am a weirdly, as much as I can't stand Man City, Kevin De Bruyne might have been my favorite player to watch at his peak.
Okay.
Just a gifted, visionary passer of the ball. He could score some, but like just one of those guys who made incredible plays. But they're older and we're younger and a little more athletic. I think it's a pretty even match, and I like us on our home. I like us at home. I like the chances, especially despite the weirdness. I'll take the striker back. I'll take Malloy back, but it's going to be close. Like that's a legitimate European power. Like you've got to beat. Like that's a good program.
It's just been look, soccer's really never been on our radar that much, but it's been hard not getting caught up in all this.
Yeah, it's been really a really entertaining, fun, and the energy has been great. The videos of like Scotland fans drinking Boston Dry, which is like my favorite stuff.
Can you think of a better two better fan bases to come together?
I said a friend I think it was on Twitter, was like, we taught the Scots how to tailgate. I don't know that they're coming back from that.
Nope.
Like,
It's over.
It's done.
Between the Scots and Boston, and then everybody going down to Texas and discovering barbecue.
Yes,
I mean,
that's the other one. Yeah.
That was the best
awesome.
line you've had. You said there's going to be somebody's
somebody's going to go back to Europe and they're going to try to open up a barbecue joint, and it's going to fail miserably. But
it's anybody with a smoker, which is probably 2/3 of the listening audience at this point, and myself included, knows that it's not easy getting it right. It is, as much as you can get it close, like actually, like I stick to the couple of things. People are coming over like, I got baby back ribs that pretty good. Like there's certain things I can do, but like I never get my briskets never quite right.
You know what's funny is, so I've got I've got a barbecue competition team. We do comps.
Oh, do you really?
During the summer and stuff, and haven't been able to get out this summer. Usually I try to get to like 4 or 5 events, but this honk.
yeah.
But so I feel really good about ribs, brisket. I've gotten pretty dialed in, but I've got like these big, pellet smokers and all these offsets and stuff like that. I had like a Weber kettle that I had just sitting around, and it's the best brisket I made. It's like a $200 Weber kettle, and that thing will knock out a brisket like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, my new quest has been after having this in Houston during the season at a Q, which is kind of a famous, almost chainy barbecue, but they did a smoked turkey that was ridiculously good, and I'm finding it impossible. Like the line between perfect and dry is like 2 minutes, and I'm like, and I'm not quite always on the right side of that line. But
you inject, do a little injection in there too, and a brine, and
that's
it'll
a good
help
idea.
you.
I've found that to be the difference.
Okay,
shut up. He makes fun of my barbecue.
No, I
nerd.
don't make fun at all.
Does he say no when it's offered to eat?
I do have a big event coming up at the old house where I've got like 14 ribs. I've got 4 briskets. I've got we're going to do it upright for the old station barbecue.
Oh, so you're inviting Coach?
Yes.
Okay.
And everybody
and
else.
I'll eat. Oh yeah, I'll eat. But I mean, I can have a little fun. He has fun at my expense from time to time.
So what are your other storylines on Summer League, especially down in Vegas coming up that you're going to be keeping an eye on? Obviously, the rookies or the top 4 picks garnering a lot of attention.
Top 4 picks, but what's fun about Summer League is always, and it probably starts tonight, there's always a guy who was either drafted later or undrafted who sneaks like, hey, this Jeremy Lin guy, this Austin Reeves guy, that's like worth watching right there. Like you start to see guys like that kind of sneak up and who is it going to be down the draft this year? Is it Filion? Like somebody like that who fell to 22 or something, like you're like, ooh, no, how did he fall that far? Like you get to see these guys because you both probably see more of them in person or on video than I get to during the season just because I'm watching so much NBA. So this is the first time I get to see a lot of these guys in person, unless they were at like Nike Hoop Summit or something that I can get to where I can see them as a high schooler. By the way, Boozer is a high schooler. You could have watched him. You're like, yeah, he can walk in right now and play in the NBA. Like he had the body. He had the body until he stood next to his dad, and you're like, I forgot how big his dad is.
His dad is big.
His dad is a big man, but had all those fundamental skills down already. It was kind of crazy.
What in terms of Vegas, in the format itself, you feel like the opportunity for Darryn and AJ to play in that first game?
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be fun to watch, but then there'll be a whole lot of overreactions.
Exactly. There's a whole bunch of people who will decide, and myself included, because I'll be writing a story and doing video out of this at NBC. We'll decide their careers that night. Clearly, the entire path for their career will be defined by that one
performance.
So, yeah, it's, and again, like you said, especially with first-year guys, for me, it's a lot of a benchmark. Like, how good were you then? And if you come back, and in Peterson's case, will he even play Summer League next year? Or will he play in Vegas? He might play here.
Yeah.
But, second-year guy, do you even – like some of those guys don't even play now. So
the only thing that I take from the other day with the Jazz, Darryn, it's truth in advertising. What I saw, and not all the time at Kansas because of the issues, but what I saw leading up and the things that I loved, he did those things. And now it's just you grow from here. But, I think some people get carried away and anoint a guy after one game, and it's a long – careers are long.
Yeah, and it's look, Summer League, especially Vegas, but even here to a degree, will be it's a networking thing. It's shaking a lot of hands and talking to people and it's all that as much as it's as much as it's basketball, it's all that. And the other part that nobody ever talks about because it's not really affecting the NBA or our circles. This is where a bunch of European teams come and watch those guys and then go, I'm going to go get this is where I'm going to get, by the way, probably the best player on my team for the next 2 years and like bring him to Italy or France or Turkey or wherever. And by the way, the fun scouts to go hang out with afterwards.
The European.
Because they're getting their best player. They have an unlimited budget. Those are the guys you want to hang out with.
It's like their lottery, right?
Exactly.
They're over here finding their lottery player.
Exactly. Yeah. They are getting their like the third guy at UNC is their best player next year, and that's those are fun guys to hang out with just because they're both enjoying themselves and they've got the budget.
Who do you feel like post July 1 has really helped themselves the most in the offseason?
Ooh.
Is it Philly?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think. Philly's obviously right at the top of the list because that team's a contender now. That team is we can talk about Embiid versus this, but like it's them in New York right now at the top of the East, right? I think Boston's taken a step back as constructed. Cleveland, with or without LeBron, you're going to have to prove something to me. Like, they'll be really good in the regular season, but like you're going to have to – your season starts in mid-April. Get back to me then. And I don't know who else in the East. Oh, Detroit. Detroit hasn't yet, though, and I'm waiting because I've heard them tied to Trey Murphy, who would be a great fit. They've got to get shooting and a secondary shot creator to take some of that load off of Cade. And they also, by the way, have to figure out the Jalen Duren thing, which is getting messy.
If you're the Jazz, do you get yourself caught up in those waters at all?
If you think you could get him.
But you're not.
But I don't. But
right?
I don't. But this is where I would want in a sign and trade more than you gave up for Walker Kessler, from any team, by the way. Just because, with all due respect to Walker, Jalen Duren has proven it. He is a 22-year-old all-NBA player who is strong on both ends. And, yeah, he cost himself some money with the playoffs. And that's probably what they're haggling over. Not probably. That's what they're haggling over. But at the end of the day, like they can't let him go unless you're giving them something back that's equally good, and I don't know where that would be coming from.
I would say what the Lakers did in terms of everything all told was irresponsible. To do that many 2 picks, 2 swaps, 4. Now, if it's Jalen Duren, I got no issue.
Yeah.
Now, again, I love Walker Kessler, and I've been a guy from the start who saw the greatness. You know, it's not always points, but this guy, he's an elite rim protector, is a great defensive rebounder, maybe the best in the league, has a relentless motor around the floor, and those are the things you want out of a big guy. Yep. But has not proven it over a long period of time on a team that is doing anything other than tanking.
And he is going to have to prove, look, for all the offense and the pick setting and the rolling and all that he is going to do well. He's there to play defense, because if you've got to play Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves next to each other, you better have some rim protection behind them that cleans a lot of things up. And Kessler is that. I mean, that is ultimately what he's there to do. He's going to have to clean up a lot of messes for them, because it's not going to be wholly unlike Utah back in the Gobert days, where we're just
we're
going to need Rudy to clean up a lot of messes with Donovan and everybody out on the perimeter, because they're not great defenders. We're going to need him to do. They need him to be that kind of guy, and I mean, we'll see.
I mean, and I think he can be, but I think the problem is they made a very large investment that he will.
They are fully committed to this core. And by the way, I like the Sandro pickup. I like bringing Colin Sexton off the bench. Like Sandro, nobody saw here because you're not allowed to show Canadian games in the United States for some reason. Colin Sexton off the bench just to give them some punch. I like
Grimes.
Grimes is a great, two-way play. I like all the moves they made on paper, and I think J.J. Redick's a good coach, but that's why they're in my second tier on the list. He's like, that's still paper, man. You're going to have to prove you can do this.
Well, hey, we appreciate you coming in. Thanks for hanging out.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Enjoy your time here in Salt Lake, and try to enjoy your time down in Vegas.
You guys gave me some restaurant, at least a lunch recommendation now, so I know what I'm doing for lunch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I expect a full report the next time we talk.
I know that fry sauce might not be a big thing in Southern California, but load up on the fries and the fry sauce.
Fries and fry sauce? Okay, good. Yeah. Southern California, big on bowls right now. Healthy bowls is
not
that's
here
not
in
this
Utah.
place.
Yeah. we still like our grease.
I think you eat this after a different kind of bowl.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Kurt Helin.
I'm here working, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
NBC Sports, ProBasketballTalk.com, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.